Hegseth, he does not have 50 votes. He doesn't have 50 people on the record for him. But Fox reported last night that there's some belief that Collins, Murkowski, and McConnell will all be no on Hegseth. Okay? Which would mean only one other Republican would have to be no. And NBC News reported this. Put up the graphics, please. NBC wrote a big story about the hearing and about this new information from the ex-sister-in-law, which unlike the Politico story, which ran hours earlier, suggested that this affidavit was in fact potentially influencing some points of view, including someone who previously was very inclined, I know, to vote against Hegseth. Next screen, please. Tom Tillis of North Carolina, who voted for Hegseth in the committee, he's on armed services, now says this. He's undecided about whether he'd vote for him on the floor. So he voted for him in the committee, but he says maybe now he's undecided. And if he votes no, Hegseth is a goner. Sean, what's going on?
I'm actually, I think one, just so people know, there's a difference. Advancing in committee, that happens procedurally from time to time on both sides of the aisle. They'll say, I'm not saying yes, but I'm going to keep the train moving down the track. I think Tillis is trying to, if you go into that whole thing, he's basically saying, I need to find out if the scope of the background check is consistent with past precedent. I don't understand what he's doing here, because you're gonna get a lot of people fired up, a la Joni Ernst, the first movie. And so the reason I say that is, on the one, Tom Tillis is a smart politician. And so the question is he sending a warning shot out to say, hey guys, I'm telling you, I'm letting you know that there's some problems, and I'm going to I'm trying to do this delicately, because those aren't the kind of public comments that you make if you're on the team. And I say that because I think he was basically trying to signal.
Totally agree. The other thing in the story that I find, I hope it was misreported, I find it shocking to some extent. Tillis says he's quoted as saying he didn't know that the scope of the FBI background check and report is set not by the FBI, but by the transition, which is true, right? They're the client. They say the FBI, look at this, look at this. Then the FBI sends them the stuff, and then they decide what the committee sees. So Tillis is sort of saying, hey, implicitly, I didn't like this, but he said he didn't know that that was the policy. That seems weird for a guy who's not just arrived in the Senate. Dan, is the Hegseth nomination in, as Tom Petty would say, Jeopardy or not?
Yes, for the reasons that Sean said. And I wonder if, I can't imagine that just 4 would vote against somebody, because you don't want to be the 4th by yourself. So are there maybe 7 or 8 Senate Republicans that are against him, so that you can't just fire at one person? It would be a chunk of people. But count me as someone who was surprised that Tillis did that, surprised to now see that McConnell, Murkowski, Collins may be a no, because you're getting really close to the goal line now.